Hi, guys. Welcome to another episode of Figuring Shit Out. On today's episode, I have a very wonderful guest whom I am meeting for the first time today. So it's going to be fun. I have been following his page and he does some really uh, nice things on his page with respect to growth therapy-ish. It gives that vibe. And he does like poetry, so he's a wordsmith. He's an overall creative, and we've had like one proper conversation,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, it would be good to have him on one of these episodes. So I would allow you to introduce yourself.
I am Victor Kwesi.
Victor Kwesi.
Yeah. So I
What
think if you really want to know more, just experience me.
you said you're Victor Kwesi.
hmm
Are you Ghanaian?
No, Kwesi is a long name actually.
Okay.
I'm Igbo,
Okay.
so it's Ezekwesiri. So I had to cut it short. I didn't
Oh,
want to stress people pronouncing and
okay.
all that. Yeah.
I've never heard it like that. Every time people said they were Kwesi, they were like
Oh, you think Ghanaian, right?
Ghanaian. Yeah.
No, a whole lot of people tell me that, but like if I tell them I'm Nigerian, they'll be like, it's a lie. So, but I'm Igbo, so I try to make it obvious.
That's
Yeah.
interesting. What part of Igbo land are you from?
I'm from Bende.
Bende.
Yeah, do you know about that?
Yeah, Benin Delta.
No?
What is that?
Bende is how will I explain this for
Okay,
you to
so wait,
understand?
wait. What state?
Abia State?
Abia. Okay.
Yeah.
We can go with that. Let's just
Okay.
say i- you're from Abia
Yeah,
State.
I'm from Abia State.
We'll take that. So today, what we're going to be talking about is dealing with uncertainty and
Yeah.
embracing change. I happen to be actively dealing with uncertainty at the moment.
We all are.
And listen, I know we all are, but this past
Mm.
week, I don't know, there's been so many dips,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just crazy. It's crazy. I don't even know how I'm over here still smiling.
Was there anything particular that happened?
There was a particular thing that happened, but
Okay.
we move. It's okay. So,
You don't want to share?
oh no, 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 I'm not ready to share.
It was really personal.
It's not like it's really personal, but it's
Mm.
just I'm just not ready to share.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot. There's been a lot going on,
Yeah.
and I think this is the proper time to even have this discussion
Mm-hmm.
with someone else because I've just been in my head a lot. So it's the perfect topic. When I went back and looked at the topic,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, this is giving prophetic.
The time I asked you, and I was thinking you would say maybe something in the lines of love, since uh, it's
It's
Valentine's week.
Valentine's,
Yeah.
yeah.
So when you said that, I was like, okay, I think I vibe with that too, because I love
Yeah.
I love I love change so much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have had to deal with changes a lot,
Yeah.
unwanted for the most part. But somewhere, somehow, life has just pivoted me into okay, now this
Mm-hmm.
it's time to change. This it's time to go. It's time to do another thing. And even when I don't necessarily plan it or want it, I just think my life just goes in that direction of you can't be in a certain place or in a certain thing for too long. And when it's time to go, everything around me will make it a point to uproot me.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I don't want to, like, even if I try to fight against it, it's like, oh, are you gonna fight? We're gonna fight even harder because you need to get out of this thing. And it's like, it's not the easiest thing to deal with.
Exactly. I being someone who love change.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I tend to expect it even when it doesn't happen yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So if I'm in a place, one thing I tell myself subconsciously is I'll leave here very soon.
Mm,
So maybe I need to just enjoy whatever I can enjoy here right now.
very true.
And when it's time to change, and I kind of refuse changing, maybe through uh, my act or maybe the things I think about, life gives me suffering.
Very true.
Life gives suffering whenever you're resisting change.
Resist, yeah.
And the suffering isn't really to punish you, but to wake you up,
Exactly.
to understand that yeah, it's time to move.
Yeah.
It's time to let go of something,
Mm,
But I feel as human beings, we don't want to change.
you are
You know,
preaching to the
as no,
choir.
as as human beings, we really don't want to change. And I think that comes from the fear of
Of the
losing
unknown.
what we really are used to.
Mm-hmm. It's a fear of the unknown.
Familiarity has a way of stunting your growth.
Yeah.
You know, so let's say we are here now, and maybe I'm enjoying the breeze, and something happens. I would want to, like, maybe life wants me to move from here,
Yeah.
but because I'm enjoying the breeze, I'll be resisting me. I mean, maybe thought wise, I'll be thinking if I leave, maybe I wouldn't enjoy this breeze I'm getting now.
Anymore.
You
Yeah.
know, so that thought alone, suffering comes. You start finding yourself being anxious.
Yeah.
You know, but like I said, it's just life's way of trying to wake you up to know that yeah,
Mm-hmm.
this is time to move or let go of something.
Yeah. But like, at what point did you understand that? Because I don't think it's something that people necessarily are privy to until they have an experience
Mm-hmm.
that gets them to that point. Me, for instance, it wasn't until I believe when I was just about to leave America.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, when I made the decision that, you know what, I'm going to leave America,
Mm-hmm.
that was when things started feeling a bit brighter for me. Because in the US, I was very, very, very depressed. I was like, what's
Mm.
going on? And
Why?
it just felt like it was just a lot. And for me, it just felt like I was holding on to staying.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt like God, the universe, whatever, wanted me to leave. But
Mm-hmm.
I held on to it for so long because I was there for like almost 8 years. And I was there since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like this is what I know. Where am I supposed to go? If I go to Nigeria, I don't really know Nigeria that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot. But I made that decision that okay, you know what?
Yeah.
At this point, a lot of things are going wrong because it got to a point where I tried to work, I lost my
Mm-hmm.
job, I tried to get into uni,
Mm.
I couldn't get into uni. Like I graduated already, but I
Yeah.
wanted to like do my masters. It would be little things like, oh, you did not fill a particular form, so
Yeah.
we're not accepting you, like things like that. And then it got from that to your visa is
Mm.
almost getting expired. So
Mm.
what's the next thing that you're going to do? Are you going to marry
Mm.
someone? Then my ex and I broke up.
Mm.
It was just a lot, and it just
Mm.
felt like an avalanche of bad things happening. I'm like, what's going on?
But maybe that was life just trying to still let you
It
know that
was,
you know
but at that point,
you
I
didn't
did not
know.
realize. I was young as well. I didn't understand it. And it got to a point where I was just always praying, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, God is not answering my prayer. What is wrong? What have I done?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it was a lot. But there was the turning point.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was this, no, it was September 2020. I
Yeah.
remember it was September 2020, and it was in the middle of COVID. And like I said, that's another uncertainty.
Yeah.
Just let me,
No,
let's,
you
let's
love,
give, let's
you
give,
love.
let me give you this picture, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the US, I was in the US, I was
Mm.
in Atlanta.
Mm.
There was Black Lives Matter movement, the
Mm-hmm.
vandalism going on. There was Donald Trump,
Yeah.
all of that nonsense happening, during COVID. There was COVID-19. We
Mm-hmm.
did not know what was going on. Places were locked. They were saying international students had to go back to Nigeria at
Mm-hmm.
one point. And then they said, oh no, the borders were closed. There was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, I was like, I can't move forward. I can't move backward. I feel so stuck.
Okay.
And it's like, everything I'm trying to do in this particular place isn't working out.
But I feel like I tell myself
Hmm.
whenever I come to a situation where
Yeah.
I feel like I'm stuck and I don't know anywhere else to go,
Hmm.
I think that is the point where I get to know that, yeah,
It's time.
and life just shows me something. Like it might be something stupid, like maybe
Yeah.
seeing a movie,
Yeah.
and I would get that insight.
Oh,
You
for
know.
me, I I felt like in the past, not
Mm-hmm.
anymore. Now I'm beginning to understand myself. In the past, I can be quite stubborn because
You wouldn't want to move.
I feel like I'm like, God, you
Mm-hmm.
need to show me this. I need to see
But how would you know?
properly. I feel like that's why like God has in the past, God has dealt with me with shege
Mm-hmm.
because it's like your eyes are, why does your eyes have to see
Mm-hmm.
shege before you know that it's time to go? Now I don't deal with all that anymore. But
So
like I said,
how do you deal with that now?
I mean, I just realized when it's time to leave things that don't serve me anymore,
Mm,
and just to trust more in God and in the universe and the plans
mm.
that you know God has for me. And like things are always
How
gonna
would
work out.
how would you know the plans God have for you?
That's the thing. Like sometimes you just don't know, you just stumble upon it. And sometimes it's just through doing certain things that just gives you
Joy.
peace.
Mm-hmm.
And you just know like there's always this innate feeling when you're doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
There's just things that just
The freedom you feel
flow.
is it?
Yeah, it feels like the opposite of what I just described.
Yeah.
It feels like the opposite of
Chaos.
all
Mm-hmm.
the chaos.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I know, oh, you're on the right path. And being on the right path in one moment doesn't mean that's going to be your path forever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, I'm beginning to learn that, but that didn't happen
Mm-hmm.
until I went through the most. And like I said, I remember particularly
Mm-hmm.
in September 2020 when I decided that, you know what, to me, go home. And the thing with my parents was that my parents were not telling me to stay. My
Mm-hmm.
parents were like, girl, if you want to come home, come home.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, you can come home. We need to get you on a flight. And that was the first flight that
Mm.
actually opened. That was the first
After
flight.
COVID or
Yes, during
during
COVID,
COVID, okay.
because they were still confused, you
Mm-hmm.
know. That was the first flight that opened, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get on this flight and I'm going to go home. And in the same month, like I think 2 weeks prior to that,
Yeah.
my I call him my bronco, my brother
Mm.
uncle, that I was
I've
staying
not heard
with.
that before.
See, don't even. That I was staying with, he was like, "Girl, I don't know what's gonna happen, but
Mm.
I'm leaving this house."
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh shoot!"
Why?
So I gotta go. I don't know, but I feel like all of those things were just to make
To
it a
let you
point
know
that
that
it's
you need to
time
leave.
to
Yeah.
go. And once I made that decision, I just felt so much
At
peace.
peace. Yeah.
And I moved from, like I said, I moved from America. I went to Ibadan. I'd not
Mm.
been in Ibadan for a very long time.
Mm.
I went to Ibadan and I enjoyed myself thoroughly
Mm.
in Ibadan, even more than I ever did in
In
America.
the
And
USA.
the only thing that changed was my mindset. That was the only thing that changed from when I was in America to Ibadan. It was just my mindset. And I'm like, I'm just going to take this mindset to anywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to make the most of
The moment is
exactly whatever it
I
is.
think that's really hard for people to accept
Mm-hmm.
because of the uncertainty that comes with living in the present.
Mm.
Like we were talking earlier, you don't know what's gonna happen in the next moment, right? So for that, anything I know I can hold now, let me
Yeah.
hold it so
Let me
strongly.
hold. And
You know.
there's an adage that says like sometimes life is like an egg,
Hmm.
right? It's nice to hold on to,
Yeah.
but if you hold on to it
Too
too
tightly.
tightly,
Hmm.
you break it.
It's true about everything that has
Everything,
life. You
everything.
know, and for I will always say, as a human being, if you get to love change,
Mm-hmm.
the truth is, the world we live in, people are not used to that kind of thinking.
Yeah.
So because all our life we've been told that if you're doing something, you need to be consistent at it, whatever
Mm.
you need. So the idea of consistency means there shouldn't be change.
Mm.
You get, but if we understand that consistency means your ability to be always open to change,
Open.
you need to make yourself open always for life to flow.
Life to flow.
And if life is flowing, it brings a whole lot of things. Sometimes some things will let go, some things will now meet and experience. But
Mm.
you meet someone when it comes to love, in your head, this is the person till I die.
Yeah.
But that's really not. If we just want to say these things to make ourselves feel good, but if we want to really be real, we understand that
Ooh.
this person has to, at some point, this person will die. You get, so like
Yeah.
you need to be so okay with that.
Can I say
You know.
something about that? I think with my mindset with love, that
Mm-hmm.
that has kind of filled my mindset when it comes to love, because a lot of people think of, oh, this person, they're going to divorce me, they're
Yeah.
going to leave me, and based on that the reasoning
Mm-hmm.
would be, oh, I have to go and be with as many people that I want
Yeah.
to be with because nobody stays with you forever.
Mm.
And in my mind I'm like, my own mindset is, you have such a beautiful connection with
Mm.
someone, and it's eventually going to end
Yeah.
irregardless. Like it might be
Mm-hmm.
death.
Exactly.
Why don't you just cherish it for as long as you have it and nurture it? And I
Mm-hmm.
think that is what fuels my own
Relationship. Yeah.
forever kind of love.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, you have it and it's beautiful.
But then, sorry to cut you short. I think you need to still understand the idea of time itself,
Hmm.
and when it connects to the moments and the now. You know,
Hmm.
in the present, there's really no time. So, like I always tell people, the end of life and the beginning of life is just now. After this moment, life is dead.
Mm.
If you meet someone new, in each moment, the person is really new. You need to start learning about the person at that time.
Yeah.
Even psychology made me understand that you can never understand human beings.
Mm.
If you really want to, at least to an extent, make guesses, you need to be able to be consistent to it, studying them in every moment,
Yeah.
like something really new. Because if we are real to ourselves, we understand that human beings are like, you might swipe your phone and see something new, and once you've taken in that idea, you're not who you used to be.
Mm.
So, and I need to, if we're dating, and I need to like understand that in every moment you're someone new, and it will make the love will never die,
Do
because
you
we are so
get
used to,
the
and
evolution?
and the problem is,
Yeah.
if someone changes in love, in
Mm.
our head, because we're so glued to the
To the
thinking
idea
that
of
this person
what they
shouldn't
were.
change, you know
Yeah.
then if you change, well, maybe my boyfriend is not who he used
Who
to be.
used to be.
Why would he be who he used to be? Like,
That's not
days are
okay.
passing, he's meeting people,
Right.
he's going online, he's seeing things.
Mm.
This person is new every day.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Based
we
on
are
like
we are just
the
so used
information
to things
consumed.
being familiar. If I can't, if I'm if this thing doesn't look like what it used to be, I
Yeah.
suddenly become afraid
Yeah,
because
it's
I
a
can't
threat.
control this right now.
It's a threat.
You
But
know.
then when you look at that biologically, it makes sense because that's why
Mm.
our chemicals
Yeah.
does what it does.
Come back here tomorrow. This tree is like there. If you look clearly, you will see there is really a change. Your
Oh,
hair grew.
everything changes.
Your hair grew an inch
Yeah.
yesterday.
Or
Today,
maybe not as
you might
much
not
as an
know,
inch,
right?
but
You might really
it's growing.
like
It
it.
might be the
Mhm.
minutest way possible, but it
There
grows.
is a change,
There
even
is.
if it's the tiniest of
Yeah.
changes.
And an accumulation of those
Exactly.
changes turns into
But
what is visible.
human beings will not. We just don't want. I've met a whole lot of people here, like I told you earlier, they'll tell you that UK weather is shit, and I'm like, I came from a place where it's either sunshine or rain,
Already, yeah.
so everything is really predictable. But here you can experience all seasons in one day, and that is so beautiful.
I mean, it is beautiful. It's
You
annoying.
know, no,
It's
like,
very, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah,
It's
but
very annoying. It is beautiful.
because you can't. You can't control the weather. You can't say, yeah, this is what this weather is going to be. You feel you're anxious, you're terrified, you know.
Oh, and yeah, like I said, let's go back to like the foundation of it.
Mm.
It's based upon evolution of human beings.
I think it's insecurity. That's the reason why
No,
we don't want the
yeah,
change.
but it's like innately in us.
Mm-hmm.
It's innately in our genetics to feel afraid when we can't control things, based on the way they used to live in the past, when we used to live in the wilderness
I
with the
I feel that that's conditioning.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, it
Because
can be undone. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
yeah, you
It
can.
can be undone, but
Mm.
I'm just saying, like, the
Yeah.
reasoning behind why a lot of people don't fully embrace change is
Mm.
because change used to be
Mm.
a proper threat
Yeah.
back in the days.
Mm.
It used to be a proper threat.
Mm.
It used to be like, okay, this thing we're familiar with it, we are able to control
Mm-hmm.
our surroundings so that these wild animals will not come and attack us.
Yeah.
All these things. And we're able to control, oh, the fire, oh, from
Mm.
this time to this time is when summer is going to last for. So we need
Mm-hmm.
to start foraging for winter.
Mm-hmm.
Things like that. But I think those are the things that have innately entered our
Yeah, no,
DNA.
it's been like
Passed on.
I tell people that these are things that people should actually call generational causes, right? Because for years we've like is fear is an emotion, right?
Yeah.
It's okay to feel fear. A dog might see something and feel fear,
Mm-hmm.
draw back. Drawing back is really isn't for the dog
Mm-hmm.
to be scared and run away. Even if the dog runs, it stops and tries to reassess.
Yeah.
That's a human life, the way life works.
Mm-hmm.
you know but because humans want to control, we don't like this feeling, so we have to do something
Yeah, something about it.
about the feeling. So the things we're going to do to stop that fear is to control
Control.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And because we can control it, we can predict its move.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just
Everything in existence, government,
yeah,
even love,
yeah.
people have made love so, in fact they gave it languages after giving it a name. They gave love a language, like, so now my love has to speak this language.
Everything has
And
to
I'm
be in a
like, and
box. Everything has
all
to
this
be
thing is just to resist change
yeah.
and control
It's just to
things.
control.
And it stems like from the topic of what we're talking about. It stems from insecurity.
Yeah.
Insecurities of, I don't want to lose what I'm familiar with.
Yeah. People
So if
just
if we
want
can deal with
safety.
familiarity,
Mm-hmm.
deal with the idea of owning things, we would definitely be open to change. Like, if I know that I don't own you, the idea to, like, hold on to you if you're trying to change or trying to be something else dies, right?
Yeah.
Then I start experiencing you as you are,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I start enjoying every moment with you.
Yeah.
Because in my head, you can do like, so I think that's one thing I like about the UK people, the idea of partnership and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes if I talk about that, people will be like, it's crazy. Why don't you just go ahead and marry
Someone.
someone? The idea of marriage too is really beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But people don't want to give room for this one too. They both can coexist. There
Yeah.
are choices. You can choose to go to the church, do weddings,
It
put
should
on
be
rings.
what
Then
works
if
for
we choose to just be
people.
partners without doing
All the
all those
extras.
stuff. But the
Yeah.
problem is, if I'm with you and there is no church wedding, there is no ring, you can wake up tomorrow and say you want to leave.
Oh yeah. There has to be
And
something.
yeah, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll because if you change, I'll be broken. So I had to do something to assure me that I own this whatever
Mm-hmm.
idea of
But the
something we're
weird
sharing.
part is it's a false sense of ownership, especially in a day and age where
Exactly.
divorce rates are high. So
hmm
people are gonna leave. Either
People
either you put
people
a
will wake
ring
up
on
and
it
leave.
or you don't put a ring on it. People leave. But
My like the only way I dealt with this is understanding that the people will die. That like just
to be
that in my head, right?
truly,
And I might be with somebody, talking with somebody. In my head, I'll be like, I might go to bed now and don't wake up.
yeah,
is a reality. It can happen.
It
Like
is.
we don't need to say maybe I'm trying to be negative
No,
or
it's
so.
not about
But
negativity.
if you're planning life, you need to plan
Mm-hmm.
death too, because
Yeah.
death and
Life.
like
They coexist.
they are all the same thing,
They
So
coexist.
you need to experience the both extremes. So
Yeah.
if I'm planning for this extreme, I should as well plan for this one too. If I plan for death, it will make me enjoy now so much.
Exactly. I think one thing that I have taken away from this is
Mm.
that there are two things that are inevitable in
Yeah,
life: death
yeah,
and change. So, and it makes so much sense
yeah.
when you allude to, death being something that would happen.
We were so scared of
And
that
as
idea
much
so
as,
much,
right, and as much as that will happen, change
Mhm.
will as well happen.
If you accept change, if you accept the
Yeah.
idea of death as it is and not something negative,
Mm-hmm.
you will immediately start adoring change.
Mm-hmm.
Because death is just to remind you, hey, there is change.
There's change.
Then
Yeah.
life is just the platform where change happens. So you just need to like understand these concepts. And
Concept.
when if things are happening, if you're going through a sad time,
Mm-hmm.
in fact, you enjoy the sad time because you know that it's going to change. Like nothing is going to stop. You don't like
Exactly.
I tell people sometimes you're going through something and you're killing yourself. Prayer is good, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't have to kill yourself that you're praying. It will pass with time. Like
It will,
nothing
but
would change it.
there's this thing that they say, this too shall
Mhm.
pass.
Like it's so like
Everything
it's
passes.
the trees won't be like this. Give it 6 months, the leaves you will see
Even the
here will be
Bible
so
in
beautiful.
Ecclesiastes said there's a time and a place for
Yeah, so
everything. There's a
if I
time
know
to,
that, I
yeah,
don't need to
there's a
be
time to
scared
plant
if
and
I'm
a
going
time
through
to
a sad time.
harvest. You know,
If I'm going through a happy time, I also know that, man, I'll sleep and wake up and something else
then there will
might
always be
happen.
something happening,
So
and
let me just enjoy it
and
now.
yeah, and that
No,
is the beauty of life.
exactly.
Life equals change. Yeah, we can't have one without the other.
Exactly.
It's been fantastic having this conversation, and I'm going to put his
Handle,
Instagram
yeah.
handle on the screen for you guys to
Mhm.
go check him out. It's wonderful. As you can hear, you hear wisdom. He's coming out with a book. We'll
Yeah.
be sharing details of that very soon. I'm very excited. Is it like a poetry book, or is it
It's like a novel.
just okay? Shout out to Mr. Ezekwesiri. Did
That's
I
dope.
pronounce it correctly?
Very, very well.
So it's been good having this conversation with you, and hopefully we'll be able to talk about a lot of other topics. So we'll catch you guys next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, and follow
Yeah.
him as well.
All right.
See y'all on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we don't have a manual to this life, okay? We're just trying to figure it
Yeah.
out.
Just make mistakes. That's just it.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. That's why the entire
Yeah.
show is called Figuring
Yeah.
Shit Out.
Yeah. That's how you live. You make mistakes.
Exactly. And that
Mm.
ties into change as well.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, guys, before we start a whole nother podcast,
Mm.
see you guys next time.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.